welcome, welcome. It's been a long time since I dropped the episode with my kids and my best friends and my other wrestling mates. It's just life been life in. But we are back at the Go Hard or Go Home podcast. This is your host, John Scratch. I'm happy that y'all get a chance to listen and enjoy these episodes because y'all been wanting it back and I've been trying. But like I said, life has been life in, dealing with three kids, dealing with wrestling, dealing with basketball, the whole nine. But now I got some free time, and I got a special guest with me, a longtime friend of mine. I consider as a big brother. He's also a legend in the wrestling business. Been around the world, wrestled all type of names to the likes of Harley Race to Sabu, you name him. He been in the ring, or he even had shared a locker room with. Uh, you want me to say your first name for real, or you want me to just say the work name?
The gimmick.
So we ain't gonna say the first name because that's private. But I got my special guest with me, Wild Man Beast. Give it up for him.
Hey, how you doing, brother? How you doing?
I'm great. How you doing?
Enjoying life.
That's good. That's good. It's been a while since we have like a actual talk, and I appreciate
Yeah.
you coming on.
Oh, no problem. Well, it's the how do you say this? The life of me being retired.
Are you really retired?
I got the bug, but the bug is like, no, you can't do what you used to do. No.
Yeah, you. I'm pretty sure I might have that same age when I say it's my time, but I still got some years left to my eyes. So my body said you got some more years, so I'm trying to work for it. But other than that, how is the retirement life? How is it feeling?
It's really good. I actually, can spend more time with, do more family outings and be with family. Don't have to worry about sitting in the car for 8 or 9 hours on the road and then go into a hotel, do an event, then head back to the hotel and hit the next town the next day. It's pretty nice. I mean, since I've been driving back again, I get bored and get tired of sitting in the car for even 10 minutes. It's like, okay, I'm tired of sitting. How far do we gotta go?
Oh yeah, I know how it feels. Yeah, well, but that's good. I'm good that you're enjoying life and everything. Like you said, you got the bug to be the itch to get back in, and so like you really want to. Your mind saying it, but your body's saying no.
Yeah, the body's saying don't do it. You just turned 55. You've been going out of the ring for 2 years. Don't put your body through this torture.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm hoping for like all the older wrestlers that still got the itch, Willie, just let it go. If your body said no, try to enjoy life is better because you don't want to risk no more other chances on injuries or lifelong injuries that's gonna affect you. That you ain't gonna be able to walk no more, or you ain't gonna be able to do this no more. Yeah, it's a lot.
Um, yeah, trust me. I go to my doctor every 6 months, and he's like, me being the age that I am, he said my body's like a 98-year-old man.
Yeah, I get it. I understand. Uh, well, let's start from the beginning. Like, how did you get into wrestling? How did you like start your career?
Well, it's a funny story. Growing up from a strict Southern family, I was always a book nerd, and my grandmother was really strict. My mom and dad were strict parents. Book this, going to church on every Sunday. And my mom got me into studying to become a priest. And I would go over to my grandmother's house. My grandmother would never let me into her bedroom, and I would hear her, "What the fuck? Beat his ass! Get off of him!" And I would hear her throwing stuff, and I'm like, "What is she? Who is she yelling at? I don't hear. Didn't nobody go in her room?" So curiosity killed the cat, and I open my grandmother's door, and what caught my eye it was Ric Flair coming down the aisle, and him and Dusty Rhodes had their feud going, and that's when the Four Horsemen were real strong back in the NWA days, and that really caught my eye. And I after that, I just like, wow, this is something that I want to do. But I was like in my second year becoming, studying to become a priest. And my grandmother was like, "Don't you tell your mother I let you watch wrestling."
Yeah, it seems like wrestling is like you watch it, it's like it's almost a no no.
Yeah, yeah, big time. But when I got into it, I was actually I had turned 15 or 16, and went to my mom and I said, "This is what I want to do," and she's like, "What?" And she's like, "You know you do?" I'm like, "Well, I want this is my college." She said, "Well, I thought you wanted to become a priest." I was always the kind of kid that loved helping out people no matter what, because that's what kind of family I was brought up in. And wrestling, it changed me a little bit, but I was always that locker room person, sitting around at a, 15, 16, 17 years old, sitting around a bunch of legends like Sting, Ric Flair, Harley Race, the Road Warrior, King Kong Bundy, a bunch of the old, I mean, old school guys.
Hmm.
And, just to have the opportunity to pick their brain back then and learn so much of the business itself. And I was just what they called back in the day a greenhorn. I would be there early, help set up the ring, set up the barricades. After the shows were over with, tear down the ring, take put and load it up in a horse trailer and ride with the guy who traveled with the ring. And there were times where we didn't even sleep in hotels. He would sleep in his truck, and he would tell me, "Hey, you get in the back and sleep in the horse trailer with the ring." So I had to make the ring canvas my makeshift bed and lay on 2.5 inch plywood and metal poles and stuff. And that was back then paying your dues. And I remember when I made my first debut in WCW in Detroit, Michigan, at the Cobo Arena in front of 30,000 plus fans.
Wow.
And I wrestled the Barbarian. That was the most scariest moment of my life. And Dusty Rose was, excuse me, was the booker, the talent agent. He's like, "You got your gear?" I'm like, "Yes, sir." He said, "Go put it on your wrestling tonight." I'm like, "All right." He's
Hmm.
like, "Yep." He said, "You're gonna make your debut." I'm like, "In front of all those people?" He's like, "Yep, in front of all those people."
I can hear his voice right now. Come on, baby, you gonna get your gear on right now. And you
Yeah,
got a match with a barbarian tonight, baby, and you gonna look good. You gonna look like $1 million.
right. And before cell phones even came out, we had the payphone. So I ran to the payphone and dropped my 50 cent in and called my mom and said, "Mom, I'm making my debut." She said, "Do what you got to do. I'm proud of you. Do it." I hung up with her, called one of my buddies. He was at work, and I said, "Hey, I'm making my debut in WCW in front of 30." He said, "Where you at?" I said, "At the Cobo Arena in Detroit, Michigan." He's like, "You know who you wrestle?" I'm like, "No, not yet." And back then, all those guys were scary looking to me because you see them on TV, you see, oh hell, they're beating the hell out of you, Doctor. And Dusty's like, "I got a great opponent for you, Beast." And I'm like, "Who is that?" And he's like, "The Barbarian." And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, "Fuck." And Vader was in the locker room with me and some of the other old school workers, and they was like, "You about to get your ass whooped." And not thinking at the time, my grandmother was in my head. I said, "Well, my grandmother always taught me, the bigger they are, the harder they fall." And as soon as all those words came out of my mouth, the Barbarian was standing right there at the locker room door, and he looked at me and he literally put a huge, he headbutted the door, the steel door, and put his head indentation in the door. And I'm like, "Oh, I'm gonna die out here."
Wow.
And
He's
Nick
really that
Patrick,
hard headed.
yeah, big time. And Nick Patrick was the referee. He's like, "Brother, you shouldn't have said that. You'd have pissed him off." I'm like, "Fuck." And they was like, "It's time." They was like, "It's showtime." I'm like, "Ah." And at that point, they was like, "Stand here at the curtain." And I'm standing at the curtain. And I got that, what they call the nervous pee. I was like, "I got to be right back." And I went to the bathroom. And you're going to laugh at me. Only two dribbles came out. I'm like, "Fuck."
Oh God.
So I went back to the curtain. I'm like, "Whew, whew, breathe." And walking out there, and to hear this is something that I will never forget. Jerry Michael Capetta, one of the greatest ring announcers that was ring announcer for WCW, for him to actually say my name, introducing me in front of 30,000 plus was a huge, like, whoa. And they had the spotlight, and the security had their arms locked and walking me down to the ring. And I'm slapping the fans' hand, and they like, kick, but whoever you gonna wrestle, kick their butt, kick their butt. And then I got in the ring and stood on the second row, put my fist in the air, and everybody, just to hear that gave me that adrenaline rush. And then when Gary Michael Capetta started announcing the Barbarian, it seemed like I had to go to the bathroom really bad. I'm like, I can't go nowhere now. I'm stuck. I got to do this match. And when I seen him coming out there, he was in his mood. And when he got in the ring, and Nick Patrick pat him down, and I usually always turn my back and I pray in the corner and do my cross. And as soon as I did that, right from behind, just started slobber knocking me, just beating the holy bejeebus out of me. And when it was time for the finish of the match, he's like, big boot. And I've seen this man do that big boot so many times, how guys take it and they're unconscious. And I'm like, fuck. So he slung me to the rope, and all I seen was this size 13 and a half right in my face. And all I remember is when he hit me, it was a 360 right in the air, right on my back. And he wasn't finished after that. I was seeing stars. So he climbed to the top rope and did his flying headbutt right to my shoulder. And I just laid there and I just hear Nick Patrick just stay down, don't move. I'm like, I'm not. I'm pinned me, and Barbarian stood on me. He's like, welcome to the wrestling business, son. I'm like, ooh, ooh. And I laid there, and when Nick Patrick was helping back to the locker room, Ron Simmons came out, the natural Dustin Rhodes came out, and some of the other face guys came out to help me to the back and stuff. And after that, the whole locker room, Dustin Rhodes, and then gave me a round of applause to say, good job. And that had to been like the scariest moment of my life. And after that, the guys gave me nothing but respect because, how can I say it? I took an ass beating that night. And then from that point on, they let me sit in the locker room with them, and I picked their brain. They gave me so much knowledge. And then I went to the indie scenes and started the transformation doing independent shows. And, I had to get my name out, in the independent scene. And I was telling the locker room, hey, look, I'm part time from this. I said I wrestled for WCW. And a lot of the wrestlers didn't believe me until one day, WCW, well, they were NWA still. NWA had did their final, not their final show, but as NWA at the UFC Pavilion. And my friends like, hey, we got tickets to go see the match at the UFC Pavilion. It was here in Chicago
Mhm.
on I think that's what is that, Harrison or whatever it is.
Yeah, I know.
I forget what street.
It's I forgot that quick too, but it's right there on the corner, so I know exactly where it's at.
Right. And they was like, you going? I said, no, I don't. Uh, I'm gonna stay home. But I didn't want to tell them that I was actually booked on that card before it was a pay-per-view. So I was like the dark match before the pay-per-view. And when I went out, I had wrestled oh me Mark Callis before he became the Undertaker.
You lying?
Nope.
And that's my goal. That's my goal in wrestling is the Undertaker. And
And
the fact that you
man,
wrestled me, Mark Callis, though, I mean, man,
yeah, and my and in the background when I'm walking out, I hear my friends, hey, that's all. That's They're like, oh, they start chanting, holy shit, holy shit.
wow. So pretty much that's the origin of holy shit now.
But it was a great experience. But me, Mark, he's a tall boy, and he's like, I'm a bench press you, and he's like 6'8", 6'9". I'm a short guy, and when he picked me up over his head, it's like, wow, the ground was very far from here. And like I said, when he bench pressed me, then he just threw me. It's been like an eternity land coming down on the ground. It's like, okay, when am I gonna hit? When I'm still flying, When am I going to? Then next thing you know, boom! I'm like, oh, there it goes. But it was awesome. I even wrestled like in Tennessee and everything like that when Ron Simmons and Sid Vicious had their feud going. It was it wasn't written in the package what they had made it out to because Ron Simmons was supposed to wrestle Sid somewhere in Tennessee and Ron Simmons' flight somehow got screwed up. So they told me, hey, put your gear on. We're going to put you out there as Ron Simmons' brother. I'm like, ooh, yeah, okay. So I
Well, so
did
what
whatever.
was the name? Like you was B Simmons or something?
Actually, they gave me Hubert Simpson.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and they to keep their storyline going, they didn't tell me, and I'm fighting Sid, and he beat the crap out of me, and he tried to go for his finisher, and he said, duck, and I ducked, and I spun around, and I did a small package, and Nick Patrick came over 1, 2, 3, and I'm like, what the fuck just happened? He's like, you just won the WCW title. I'm like, I'm not that powerful. And I rode out the ring and I held the belt up high. But the next day, Sid Vicious had his rematch, and he won. Of course, he won the belt back just to keep the storyline between him and Ron. You know, had that thing going, and he after that match the next day, I mean, he didn't legitimately beat me, but he beat the crap out of me to make it look good. To where Ron came out to save his little brother, and then they had their match the same thing after Sid beat the crap out of me, and I rolled out the ring, and Ron Simmons and Sid Vicious did their thing to keep their storyline going.
Nice.
And then that's when they start transformation to WCW. That's when Booker T, Scott Hall, Kevin S, and them started coming over. Got a chance to work some of them at some house shows, and then the Nasty Boys was over there when they were feuding with the Steiner brothers and stuff. Had the opportunity to do some stuff with the Steiner brothers, and then it was the Nasty Boys and Harlem Heat when Teddy Long was managing Harlem Heat,
Mm.
and that's when WCW went over to the Rosemont Horizon before they called it the
I'll
Allstate
stay
Arena
arena.
now.
Yeah.
And I was timekeeping, and they did a spot to where Harlem Heat they won the match against the Nasty Boys, and everybody was cheering and stuff like that. And me being a timekeeper, Harlem Heat had grabbed me and started beating the crap out of me with a chair, and the Nasty Boys came back and saved me. And Harlem Heat jumped out of the ring, and you know, I they Booker T didn't mean to do it, but he kind of caught me in the back of the head and I got a small concussion. And the Nasty Boys grabbed the microphone and said, "Hey, if you want to beat up a hometown person from Chicago, next month when we come back here, how about a three-way? The Nasty Boys, Hubert Simpson go against Harlem Heat and Teddy Long." And the crowd went nuts.
Mm.
And we came back the next month, and that was the greatest thing to have Harlem Heat, Teddy Long on one side, and me and the Nasty Boys. It was like, wow, I'm actually wrestling with a bunch of old school superstars. It was just so unbelievable.
Well, what's Harlem Heat at that time? They wasn't Booker T and Stevie Ray. They was Kane and Cole, correct?
Yeah, yep.
Yeah, I know a little history. I know a little bit about wrestling. But
But they were really nice guys, and I a lot of people didn't know that myself and Matt Bourne became like really good friends, and we traveled. When he was still wrestling for WCW before he became Doink the Clown.
the
I had
original Joint the
introduced,
Clown, because there's like
yeah,
three different versions of it in WWF and everything, and he was the original one.
right. I introduced him to his first wife, back in Chicago. And so that, that was what made the bond between me and him. And, even though I had, got fired from WCW when Vince brought it over, Matt and I still stayed in contact. But I stayed in contact with a lot of the names, when Mr. Hughes came over, Lex Luger, and all those guys. I was still doing a lot of stuff before. And, Rey Mysterio, Chavo, Chris Benoit, all those. I had the opportunity to do, I even wrestled the late, great Chris Benoit in Canada.
That's nice.
It's like my body, my boots, my tight has been in the ring with some of the biggest names that people wish they could ever do.
Let alone
And
just be around, like just be in their presence.
yeah. And they treated me just like one of their own. They didn't treat me any different or anything. It was a really, really good experience. And I brought that experience with me through my travels in the independent scene. Now, I had a lot of haters who hated me for doing what I was doing and saying, how could somebody be a person that weighs 415 pounds? That's my weight back then. How can he get booked everywhere and he hardly does anything? And the promoter's like, if you listen to the crowd on what he's doing, this is the reason why we book him. Because I put asses in the seats, not because a lot of people call me a sports entertainer. I'm not that. I'm a wrestler. If I'm going to be a sports entertainer, I might as well sit and have people put makeup on me and dress up, in different, outfits. But a lot of people that looked at me as my career boosted on looked at me as a replica of Abdullah the Butcher.
Hmm.
And that's and people like, oh, you're copying off of Abdullah, all this and this. We're gonna and Abdullah had to put a lot of people in their places, and he's like, yes, he looks like me. Yes, he's a replica of me, but our wrestling styles are totally different. Abdullah the Butcher was a brawler, a fighter. Me, I can brawl and fight. Plus, I have good wrestling skills.
Yeah, you got a little bit of, like technician stuff and everything like that. So you got
Right,
so yeah. So there's like that difference that other people don't even pay attention to. Like they see the similarities right then and there, but they don't see like the difference right away. They just quickly see the, oh, you copying this person and that person, and it's like, no, this he's doing his own thing. It looks like a replica, but it's really not. Because these days
right,
it's kind of hard to find originality in wrestling. But if you could find something that you see and then try to make it your own, or at least change it up, tweak it up a little bit. I mean, that's you could.
right. And people when they actually see what I can do for a big guy, I'm very flexible and I can actually move and run the ropes and do some stuff that a muscle bound skinny guy could do, and they look like, how the hell is he doing it? And then after that, when a lot of guys see me, they respected me, but it was a lot that feared me when they see my videos on my YouTube, and they like, oh, I'm not getting the ring. He look like he's killing people. But the guys in the locker room like, hey, if you don't want to wrestle the beast, let me wrestle him. It'll be an easy night for me. Like, what you mean? It's like this guy does this. He's like, we're going to tell you this. I'm not going to give away the business of the wrestler. If you wrestle Beast, he's one of the smartest technicians in the ring. He's like, he will make you look like $1 million, and you could have just gotten the business, and he'll still make you look like $1 million. And people never understood that, and I wrestled a lot of independent guys, and when I told everybody I was retiring, everybody like, oh, I want to get one more match with you. Like, I can't do it no more, guy. I want to get booked here and there, but this is the final hoorah for me. Even my time in Puerto Rico, I was a huge hit in Puerto Rico because that was Abdullah's territory. But when I went down there, the Puerto Ricans thought, hey, they were calling me the son of Abdullah, and I got booked a lot of places in Puerto Rico, and they were like, whoa. People like, damn, he went to Puerto Rico. I can't even get to Puerto Rico. How did you do it? I'm not going to tell you. You promote if you promote yourself the way you need to promote yourself, and do the right thing. Don't do the drama, and be you, and be professional. People out there will see your work, your charisma and stuff, and they'll pass the word on. And that's what people seen about me. They would have their guys work at different events where I was booked at and say, "Hey, Beast is a cool dude. He can wrestle this and this. Let's book him." And they would bring me in, and people's like, "Oh, he's this. He's probably in charge." And they were hating on me because I was traveling from Denver to Portland, all over, and promoters were paying for my flights, hotels, whatever I needed. They took care of me.
Hmm. And that's I think that should be every like wrestler's goal is like either try to wrestle across the country, across the state, or overseas, and just experiencing like different cultures. Like that's one of my goals. I'm like I'm trying to get at least to Canada. Like I don't have to take a plane to Mexico or Europe just yet. I just like if I can get out of Canada, I can pretty much get out to anywhere.
Right, right.
So
You
yeah.
know, and John, you've been a few places with me, and you see how the locker room highly respect me. Oh, Beast is here. Oh, wow. I was one of those locker room generals that made everybody laugh, and when people, needed questions, they can you watch my match and critique me, and I'm like, sure, uh,
Hmm.
you know,
Yeah,
and I've
I
been
definitely remember those times, especially that time. Oh my god, I forgot the whole promotion calls.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, with I forgot about his name. That this is why this was so bad. Like you forgot the promotion, you forgot the promoter. You just know we was in the middle of nowhere in a big old garage.
No,
Uh,
it was actually a barn. It was somebody's horse barn, or whatever the fuck you want to call it. That's how bad it was.
and I mean it was big enough to put the ring in, but it was like, oh, the locker room was like very very small, and it was
Yeah,
like, how can we get dressed? Because I like I need my space. I'm not saying I'm claustrophobic with anybody near me and everything. I just like no, I just need a little bit of space so I could stretch my legs. I got to put my boots on and everything and all that. It was just so small. But again, the experience was fun because we both took the ride. You gave me the same stories you told me. You telling them now, but it's still like when we got there, it was like, oh my god, like how?
yeah. That day was really embarrassing. I've never in my career of wrestling been in something like that. That was totally embarrassing, and the promoter didn't know what he was doing. Some of the guys that he had on the card didn't know what they were doing, and he was saying that he was trying to film for TV. He didn't know what they were doing. Some of the guys didn't know how to do promos, and he's yelling and screaming, "Cut, cut, cut!" It's like, use my language, dumbass. You can't cut.
You
This
can't cut
is
in
the
the middle of
TV
this.
channel.
When you live, you live. You can't just do it in the middle and everything. Now, if you were just doing a taping, that's understanding. Cause like, I'm not in production. Production, I know what I'm doing as far as like production wise. So if it happens, it happens, and we could just either re-edit or we could just redo it. But like literally in the middle of the camera, like the camera rolling, you saying cutting it just to start over. I'm like, you can't do stuff like that.
Yeah, it took half of the locker room 15 tries to do a damn promo, and you seen me. I was in the locker room getting frustrated and getting pissed off, and it was supposed to start at 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. They're an hour ahead of Chicago. I'm like,
Hmm.
okay, and we didn't get out of there mofo till almost midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, and I was not happy.
Man, I mean, only
And
thing I'll say the good thing about it was the food. They did take
oh
care
yeah,
of as far as food
yeah,
wise.
and
So
then it's like I was okay. I was supposed to be in the main event, and it's like I ate. Okay, I'm getting tired. I'm tired of wearing these clothes. Okay, I want to get on. He's like, you need to do your interview now, Beast. I'm like, but and I told him, I said, you don't need to tell me how to do no promo. I'm gonna do this in one take and that's it. And when I did it, everybody, even the owner of the company, was shocked and amazed. He's like, and even the camera guy was like, wow, that was an promo. He's like, and he said, that was perfect. He said, you did this in one take. He's like, how come everybody? I said, because some of these guys weren't professionally trained the right way to do a promo.
Hmm.
And I went back on a couple of occasions, but the promoter could never draw, and it was all about him, and he could not work.
He sure can,
He couldn't.
because like when he was working, I was hitting all spots, and I wasn't even that close. I was like far, far out, and I'm like I could hear him calling spots like very loud, and I'm like, we try to like whisper or something.
Right. I wanted to knock his fucking teeth out several times, but I had to keep my professionalism. And when I told a bunch of other guys that he wanted to try to book, I said, "Don't go to him. I like it's a shit show. It ain't worth it." They
And
was
he
like,
definitely he hit me back. He always want me to come back because he brown sugar. I'm like, I was finna change my character to brown sugar. Like I don't even got brown sugar gear. Like all my stuff say John Scratch, but it was fun though. I ain't gonna lie. The guy I was working, he wasn't really that good, but I still made it work. And that's
right,
the reason why he was like, "Oh, I enjoyed it." And he was trying to put me and Mike Strong together, and like Mike Strong did a good job with his character. He was like a
oh
Jamaican
yeah,
something. He just like challenges like that. Big shout out to Mike Strong, by the way. But yeah,
yeah.
that was a very very interesting day. Like I think I told you after I dropped you, I was like, I don't want to do this again.
right. And I called you and I texted, I said, "Bro, I'm sorry." Like, "Beast, it's okay." I'm like, I said, "I'll make this up to you." I said, "I am so sorry." I said, I couldn't even sleep after. No, I can't. After you dropped me off, I came home, sat in the front room and cried for like 30 minutes. And I've never cried after a show. That's
it's,
how hurt and
look,
embarrassed I was.
it was okay. I mean, we gonna come in wrestling. You gonna come across a lot of dumb shit, a lot of good stuff. You never know what you're gonna come across, but you're gonna experience it and then you're gonna learn from it regardless if it's good or bad. So
But
I'm
you just gotta stay, stay professional. You know, when you here's my word of advice to any wrestlers that's listening to this. Take it from me. I've been in this for 36 years. Been retired now. When you enter that building, I don't care who you see. You walk up and introduce yourself. It could be the custodian. It can be the janitor. It could be the maintenance person. Just walk up and shake their hand because you never know who in that building. Shake everybody's hand. Don't bypass nobody. Hi, my name's Beast. How you doing? My name's Beast. How you doing? Shake everybody's hand. Let them know that you're a professional. If you don't do that, they look at you like, okay, this person is got an ego trip. They're not going around shaking everybody's hand. That's that's one of the key one-on-one things that I didn't see a lot of the newer guys come and do. They just come in there, put their gear bag down, and want to get on their phone and jam out to music and put all their baby oil on and flex and not even acknowledge themselves to veterans and walk around and shake everybody's hand.
exactly.
Then it's like I want to get up and slap the shit out of them, but I said, you know what, fuck them. And then I tell the promoter, who is this fucking, you know me. I always say, who is this dumb cocksucker? They're like, oh, he's one of my stars. He's my champion. Then why the fuck did you put a belt on this asshole? He's not even coming acknowledging me as a veteran. You're like, what? Yeah, he's over there with his fucking grease oil looking like a fucking grease monkey. And he's like, that's the guy you're working tonight. I'm like, oh, that's even
That's
better.
even
Thank
better.
you.
Yeah, and then they will learn the hard way. I'm not saying I came across because I was taught professionalism. So Ivan, Willie the Bomb, they all taught me just even if you don't like them, greet them.
Right.
That just shows that you not only respect their talent or to respect them as a whole, you respect the business overall. Because I had my share like people I had issues with, but I still greet them like, "Hey, what's up? How you doing? Everything." And we don't have to hold a conversation. Just know I'm gonna be respectful. I'm gonna say what's up, and I'm gonna keep it. I'm just gonna keep pushing. And it taught me a lot. It brought me a lot of ways. That's why I got booked to other like indie places like EPW, JICW. Just now, the Illinois Valley, dang, Illinois Valley
Valley
Federation.
Wrestling Federation. Yeah.
Yeah, so I just got back with them because I probably did a second show, but come to find out the booker was not really booking. So then they lost that. But then big shout out to Bodine, Tyler Bodine, who is now the owner of that company. He brought me in, and this is how I know I'm not trying to be cocky, but this is how I know I'm very good. My car broke down the day before the show.
Oh
So
crap.
I told him I might have to miss it because I got to wait there. I spent $900 on this car and it's still acting up. And he said, "No, bro, I got you. I'm gonna get you a ride." And he hit up one of the bookers who had lived up north. And he gave me a ride. I offered gas. And the reason why he said it because I'm a very important piece because the match I had with this guy named Rush. Big shout out to Rush 180. It was match of the night that first show. Everybody enjoyed
Mhm.
it, so that's why we had to do it again, and that's the reason why he brought me there. And I said our second match was, but it still got the crowd. So that was made me feel good about myself because like not only I show the professionalism because I speak to everybody and everything, I put on a good show and show the talent, and then make them want to bring you back. And there's a lot
Right.
of days it's kind of hard to get booked these days because when you watch the shows and you see like how they booked this guy with me, and you said it right then and there saying, listen to the crowd.
Right. I spoke on your behalf. Tyler did. Hey, who should I book? And I know a lot of people in the business. He knows that who are assholes and who I don't want to try to advance their career and stuff like that. There's a lot of guys that got on my bad side and disrespecting in so many ways. And hey, can you give me a book? Or they'll go behind my back. Hey, I'm real good friends with Beast, and Beast told me, they don't realize that how close I am with a lot of bookers and promoters out here. And the promoters, hey Beast, you know this person? I'm not familiarized with people's names because I've been around too many of them. I said, send me a picture of what they look like, and they'll send it through my Facebook Messenger. I'm like, oh, fuck that cocksucker. He's a piece of shit. They're like, okay, no problem. Thank you very much. And they're like, oh, we can't book you. Our card is booked. And they're like, how come? Well, we got our sources. You're fine. And then when they find out, oh, Beast, I'm sorry for whatever I did. I really want.
And on that we lost I lost him because the Zoom was just like a minute long, but I'm finna redo it. So yeah, we're back though. We're back. Well, we left off. We were talking about the business and how we should respect each other and greet everybody. His word of advice. But again, that's how talents get booked if you just show professionalism. Not just that, like when he just said about being there with the ring crew and setting up stuff and everything like that. That's very important in this business. So if you're trying to come up, that's one of the things you got to know is ring crew is very important.
Yes, always, always. I don't care if you've been in it 5 or 10 years. Still go out there. Even though I had been in it for 35, 36 years, I still tried to go out there and try to put chairs away or tear down the ring, and people like, be sit your ass down. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Yeah, I was trying to help last show at with Bodine and my hip was hurting. I was like, I'm trying, but at least I did get a chance to touch the ring, so I could like show
Yeah.
the rookies, the up and comers, like no matter if I'm hurt or not, I'm gonna try to help as much as I can.
Mhm.
So since we got cut off, we can still talk. We got another 39 minutes Zoom. I'm not paying that damn money. I want to take advantage. That's why it's the beauty of me knowing how to edit. So that's good. But
All right, cool, cool.
what is your by far? What is your favorite match that you ever had in your career? Like Indies, WCW, like just overall, like you could give me your top three or top five, or you just your all time best match that you ever had.
Okay. Number one was wrestling the Barbarian at the Cobo Arena. Like I said, for WCW in front of 30,000. Number two was Chris Benoit. Third one, oh geez, team doing a tag team match against the original Samoan SWAT team for the American Wrestling Federation on national TV. Um, Number four, well, I said three. Okay, number four is Johnny Gunn and Jim Powers for American Wrestling Federation. That match, made history. And number five, I got two more. Well, three more. Number five was actually stepping in the ring with you. That was a dream match for me that I had, made possible for us. Finally, I know it was a dream match for you as well. Wrestling you 1-on-1 just to test the waters with you, and you impressed me. You're a hell of a wrestler, man. I have to get that to you. What's Mike Anthony from Old Windy City Wrestling, and last but not least, Chief Alakula. Him and I've had some hard battles in and out the ring, and we beaten each other up, bruised each other up, and it was just a phenomenal, phenomenal run in my career.
Definitely, you did. I followed a lot. I saw a few matches and everything. Like man, I don't know, it was one of my favorites, but I think my one of my favorites is that uh you had was at the Berwin place. I hate
Oh,
that they closed that down. That's like a wonderful place for
I
wrestling.
know, oh, big time.
So I'm glad about that because I help a lot with Bourbon Championship Wrestling as far as like setting up the ring and everything. And I didn't get a chance to get booked there. That was a great venue, and I enjoyed watching all the lucha matches, all the BCW matches. Of course, your one of your last matches there. It was an honor. I was trying to get there on time. That's why I was like talking to you, like, "Hey, where you at there in the car?" You said, "Oh, I'm in the main event." I'm like, "Okay, I got time," because I don't care about anybody else. I don't care about other matches. I think Nate Diamond was there in that match. I think Mike Strong was on that card. Cobra was on that card too, and I was happy to get a chance to see him because that's my boy. You know, big shout out to Cobra. And I'm surprised I don't know what they're gonna do now with Square Circle Mega Stars. I don't know what they're gonna do now since Bourbon closed down.
Don't know either. A lot of good promotions are upset that they can't do Burry Legal Club after that
That stupid
incident that
incident, like
happened.
a fake stabbing.
Yeah,
Like nobody got stabbed, y'all, and then y'all. I get it. Protect your mates. No matter if you face heel, all that. I mean, yeah, we kind of exposing the business a little bit, but always protect your mates, no matter what. And I feel like they did right, but at the same time they kind of overreact.
right.
So I was like, when I saw the story, I was kind of upset about that. Like, I get it, but y'all gotta just double check and see what's happening before y'all decide. Oh, we gonna go ahead and beat this motherfucker ass because you bought a knife. Cause we got drunk fans and everything, and like I seen it firsthand. That he was trying to like. I think it was that JICW. I don't know. It was one. It was either JICW or EPW. A fan was just superly drunk, and security was not wasn't helping or nothing. I don't really don't know. So but they got him out. Security got him out, and everything was cool. And yeah, that was just it was crazy. I'm like, man, uh, I ain't trying to be selfish, but I'm pretty sure you saw most of my matches. Like you might not remember the opponent, but if you could like describe it, I could probably hit type onto it and whatnot. Um, Just what's your favorite match of mine?
Well, of course, me and you,
Of
you,
course, that was a
you,
fun match because I made you work. But I'm not.
yeah.
I told you I wasn't gonna change for nobody.
But you see, I can hang with you. I know you're like, damn, he did things and still can hang. Jeez.
Oh yeah, cause you could still move a little bit. I was like, I wasn't trying to do too much with you, but I was like, I can't change up my character because you got more years than me. I'm not gonna change for nobody.
Hey, you don't have to. You brought you. I told you bring your A game when you wrestle me. Don't be I'm wrestling a name. I'm wrestling a veteran. Don't think of me as that. Think of me as hey another opponent. Don't bring me your A game. Bring me your best.
That's how I always approach things now. Like I ain't gonna lie, when I wrestled James Ellsworth, he was nerve wracking to me. Like oh why you nervous against James Ellsworth? He was a jobber in WWE. He was there. That's the thing. He was there. He was
Right.
good enough to be there, good enough to face the likes of AJ Styles and Dean Ambrose and all them. Like he was important. I'm like that was nerve wracking. But after getting in the ring with him and we had a nice little match, I was like, I can hang with anybody. I don't care,
Yeah.
big, small, tall. You've been in movies. I don't care. So that's why it's like it was an honor to wrestle you. I got Shannon Moore in my under my book. Of course, Ellsworth. I need to reach out to him. I got his phone number and everything. See if he needs some. See if I got some work. Oh, wait a second. I got a person at the door. It's one of my kids. I know that. So I'll be right back.
Okay. Ignore her. Just ignore her. Emma, stop it.
Don't worry. I know how to edit this part out too. but
Okay.
um, but yeah, that those type of matches with big names. That's another advice for the upcoming wrestlers. When you wrestle a name, don't take them no lighter than you do for your next opponent, no matter what. Because yeah, it might get nervous, but once soon as you get in the ring with them, they just like everyone else. They just want to put on a
Yeah.
good match and maybe get back home safe. That's it.
Yeah. Get a fans what they paid to see. Nothing more, nothing less.
Yeah, cause I was telling that to my your sister, my best friend DJ, when DJ was facing Mickey Knuckles. DJ
Mhm.
was nervous as hell, and I'm like, "But you in the main event. This is a big name. You did your research. Just go out there and have fun."
Mhm.
And they put on a banger match, and Mickey Knuckles was telling DJ, "Hey, I'll bring you anywhere, any part of the state, because you know what you're doing. You know how to work. A lot of these people don't know how to work. You got it." And
Right.
that's the confidence booster when all anybody needs. You give a name like that, that's whew, I ain't gonna say she been on Botchamania a lot, but she been on Botchamania a lot. But it's not like when she messed up. It was more like, oh, it was a table spot and it didn't break. And I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
that's Mickey. I know her.
You got to do what you got to do because I learned that from Mick Foley. When he was wrestling for WCW, I seen the stuff that he did, and he's like, go out there, give them what they paid for. Don't. And here's another thing: don't think of yourself as a wrestler. Think of yourself as a fan, and that carried me a lot of, a lot of weight in the business before I retired. I never thought of it that way, and I talked to Mick Foley once in a blue moon. He's like, you did. He followed my career, ever since I was little, and he's like, you did what I put in your head. It's like, hey, don't think of yourself as a wrestler. Think of yourself as a fan. What would you as a fan would want to see this person do to if you win 400 or 500 pounds, what do you want to see this behemoth do? Can he wrestle? Can he do this? Can he do that? And once you impress them, you got them. The fans is your background. They are the ones who make you or break you.
Hmm. Definitely does, cause that's why like a lot of fans at EPW is looking for me, cause I ain't been there in over a year, and they reach out to me and like, when you coming back? And that's the type of impact I want to leave for all the fans for my career, and it should be everybody's like goal to just set an impact. Like it doesn't matter. Like I it ain't a funny story, but it's a more of an inspired story. It's a little kid in JLCW is a big fan of mine. I think I forgot his name. I think his name was Jordan, or it started with a J, but I will remember as soon as it pop up. And his mom was telling me how big a fan he is of mine, and I was like, wow, I never knew I could make that impact. To a point, like he was dressing up like me for Halloween, and I'm like, wow, that's a first. And just to have that, I'm like, I feel good about myself. Fuck. And if I could do that with that one kid, I could probably could do that for everyone else as well.
Right. Also, before we get cut off, I just want to let all the fans out there know and let you know. I don't know if you've seen it. I have been inducted into one of the most prestigious Hall of Fames
Yeah, I
in the
saw that. I just didn't
Midwest.
know which one, but I saw that.
Yes, it's the St. Louis Wrestling Hall of Fame. I'm being inducted July 19th in St. Louis, Missouri. That's one of the biggest prestigious Hall of Fame awards that I've ever been inducted into and receiving. So if you're in the St. Louis area, come check it out. It's July 19th with St. Louis Wrestling Hall of Fame. A lot of old school guys like Luthez, Harley Race, a lot of St. Louis guys, and for me being inducted into that is a high honor.
Especially St. Louis. St. Louis is a big wrestling place. Period. Like we ain't just talking about Randy Orton. It's just business was booming in St. Louis. Like when they was doing
Yeah,
the territory days and everything, St. Louis is one of the biggest cities that can like produce a lot of talent. So congrats on that. Is a big achievement. I would love to be there because I haven't been in St. Louis in so long. But life always been life.
yeah.
So
They're actually going to do it live, and I'm gonna on my fan page of WildMan Beats. I'm gonna go live on that as well, and just do the whole thing live.
as long as I get a shout out, I'm definitely gonna watch it. So
Oh,
everybody, be prepared. Go follow him on his Facebook page, the Wild Man Beef. We still got time to talk. So that's your one of your biggest achievements. You won multiple titles and everything. And like, what is that one championship that you wanted, but now you know it's not gonna be a chance to get?
well, I always wanted to hold like a WCW, like United States champion, or I've held I said in the beginning of the program, I held the WCW, heavyweight championship belt, but I always wanted to, achieve that big thing of being a heavyweight champion, even if it's an independent scene. I was, like United States champion for Anarchy Pro, another organization that I wrestled for in Ohio called Savage Anarchy Wrestling. I was a first United States champion, and then out in Minnesota, I was a U.S. champion there. So I was a double U.S. champion in one organization and in another organization. I defended both of those belts wherever I went. So that was a pleasure there. And then I became heavyweight champion. I forget the organization, one of the heavyweight champions, and I held their belt for 4 years and took it all over. So there's many titles that I wanted to hold, but never had the opportunity. But my blessing is, hey, look, a title really don't make a person. It's the person who makes the title.
Exactly.
And when the promotion feels, hey, look, this person earns this. It's all about earning and representing the company. And when they make me their U.S. champion in these promotions, and whatever champion they wanted me to be, I represented the company because they had faith in me. And usually promoters don't let people take belts home, but me, they like take it home. Me, I was like, okay, I'll take it home. But then after a while, my wrestling gear bag started getting heavy. I'm like, ah, I don't want to carry this bed around no more. My bag's getting way too heavy.
Yeah, I realized the hard way. I'm like, when I won titles, they let me at least take it home and everything. Uh, man, like when I won the EPW tag title for the first time, and I was one of the first ever tag champion, and I was
Mhm.
like, they wanted to keep it. I'm like, man, this is my first time winning this title outside of my home fed, so I'm like, let me just take it. I'll bring back in the money, and y'all can keep it. And he was cool with it. And then like since then, like every time I win a title, I want to at least take it home for at least a month to enjoy it and like, yeah, this is a achievement and everything. But after a while, I'm like, no, take this back. Oh, it is too heavy. I already got a lot of stuff in my bag. I don't want no more
Right.
and everything else. So yeah, that just like when I won the PRW heavyweight title, that was a big moment for me. When I was carrying the title, I'm like, this thing is heavy. Why I'm bringing this with me?
Yep. That's one thing that I don't miss, lugging my gear bag around, dragging it, then sitting in the locker room. It's like, oh, I gotta put this on. Like, okay, here we go. And I would have to get motivated. And I always ask people, what match am I? Oh, your main event. Okay, I'll be dressed by intermission.
Yeah, that's how I was when I was in the main event. I didn't even start getting dressed to like like the second match. Like it takes time. Like I see why people probably don't get boots. They would just wear the kick pads and gym shoes because it's
Yeah,
easier. It's easy to
yeah,
put on, easy to take off. When it comes to the boots, you gotta lace them up all the way to the like down there to the shin. I mean, I'm still gonna wear my boots because I look good in it. I'm not gonna
right.
switch up because of that, but it does take a lot of time, and then I'll always say like if I'm in the middle of the show, I'm like okay, let me do it during first match. But if I'm main event, I ain't doing it until like second, third. Cause I had asked Sheik, um, not the Sheik we know, not Iron Sheik and everything. It was another Sheik that wrestled in the Indies. His real name is Manny. I didn't want to expose that, but that's the best way to describe him. Nice guy, and it was my probably like my third main event. I ain't gonna say ever, but my like since I had the title, it was like my third main event. And I'm like, you was champion for like a whole year, and I asked him, what do you do to keep yourself like motivated before the main event? Like, cause we gotta wait about 5 to 6 matches. Then you go out there, you're already tired, you're bored, and he was just telling me like, just be happy that you got the chance to get in the position, because a lot of people are not gonna get to this far.
Right.
So, and I was like, you know what, you're right. And every main event, if I'm in the main event, I'm excited because like that means y'all trust me to get there. Y'all trust me to end the
Mm,
show and send these fans home happy. So,
right.
and then, like I've been doing this for what 9 years, going on 9 years now, and I've been in a handful of main events so far, and I'm proud of every main event I've been in. No complaints. Even when I first started, like being the main event at the house show, like just a little small little taping or something. That's something. That's motivation, and that's what should all wrestlers to do. Like if you get in the main event, at least at one, like once you get your first main event out the way, you probably want it more and more. But once you realize after you get older and you've been in it longer, you like, if I get in the main event, cool. But if I'm in the opener, that's even better.
Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, you got any questions for me? You know,
Oh, yeah. What's your goal, and how far do you want to, you know, keep going in the wrestling business, and what is one of the places you always wanted to travel to put in your bucket list?
oh, my bucket list is kind of long. So, but of course, my goal is to make it to the highest level possible. So, you got the WWE, you got the TNAs, you got the AEWs, and you know that. of course, you want to make it that far, and then when you get in now, build yourself up from there, and hopefully they give you the opportunity to build that. But of course, the opening goes. I've been backstage for both WWE and TNA as far as helping out with production and actual work and stuff. So I got my foot in the door, but I'm still gotta like push more. So it's an old saying like you gotta know somebody to know somebody to know somebody. I'm more of the hard working person. I want them to see me for my work. That's the reason why, my motto is go hard or go home. I got merch and everything. Go to brainbusters.com if you want one. I gotta plug that in.
All right,
Uh
go for it.
I live it. It's not just it's not a catchphrase. It's not just a catchphrase. It's a model. This is how I was growing up, like with
Okay.
basketball, uh, working, of course wrestling. Like I just want to show that my hard working is what's going to bring something,
Hmm.
and everything else in between. Like if you want to tweak something, we could work on that. But just know I'm a hardworking person. So that's like one of my goals is like showing that I can make it just do off hard work. And yeah, a little bit of connection here and there, but just off my ability to put on a good match by speaking stories in the match. Because I'm not all about high spots. I mean, I could do them. Don't get me wrong. I could dive over the top rope. I could do a moonsault. I could do all that, but it doesn't make sense in the match.
All
Uh,
right.
you
Well,
know,
before we get off the air, I'm gonna say this. After we get off, send me two, maybe three of your best matches through via text or Facebook Messenger, and I'm going to look at my mission. I have, I still have good connections. I'm going to try to get you down to Denver, Colorado.
I got family in Denver too, so yes.
Okay, send that over to me, and
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
gonna
definitely will.
try to make some magic happen for you. I
Appreciate
mean,
that.
you've been one of the few guys that I respected in the business. So I still have my connections in the business. I'll talk to a buddy of mine who helps book talent and stuff, and I'll send them your videos and your info, and then you can go from there,
I
and
got
I'll put
you.
in a good word
As
for
soon
you.
as we get done with that, I'm gonna send you cause I'm gonna send you some of my matches that I lost. One of them I win, and then just something that's like, okay, I feel like this is a good enough to show how much I could show, like what I could do with somebody that's not really that good and stuff, but I could make magic. I could make what the Undertaker say in one of his podcasts. He said you could turn chicken shit to chicken salad.
Mhm.
So that's why. But I got you. I got you. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's actually my bucket list to try to make it to the highest level, WWE, TNA, and then go from there. As far as like places, of course, I said Canada, but I do want to go down to like Mexico and to overseas, Europe and everything, Japan. I just saw one of my wrestling homies. I think his name Joe Wynn. He just wrestled in Japan, and I'm proud of him. And I saw his
Oh
growth.
yeah, yeah. I seen that. Yeah, I'm proud of him too. He made his dream come true.
hmm So that's the thing. So I'm like, that's on my bucket list. Um, I'm 38, as far as age, so I'm pretty much still young compared to this business. Um, I'm gonna just
I
keep
wish I
going.
could be 38 again.
I'm gonna keep pushing it. I'm gonna keep pushing until my body said no more. And right now, my body's still strong. I'm going back to the gym now, so I'm finna try to get at least look the part. Once I look the part, that could be a plus. But other than that, I just like I said, I just wanted to get noticed for my hard work, and then after I get in, I'll work harder than that. Cause I had a dream. I told it to my girlfriend, and I said it on Facebook and everything and all that. Uh, I uh I dreamed that I was main eventing one of WrestleManias. Now they got two nights. It didn't matter which night, but I dreamed that I wrestled CM Punk and we wrestled in Chicago, and the build up was great. Like he was talking about, we were talking about how we are different cultures. We from different parts of the town because it's like he's from Chicago. I'm from Chicago, but he's from the north side. I'm from the south side. So it's almost like the Cubs versus the White Sox. But he was talking about how he grind where I took a little longer. But I said in the promo like, look, I was your biggest motor. I got your whole tattoo on me. So ain't nobody was a big fan. It was me, and I'm the one who had your back. Blah blah blah, and it was good. And then the match was even epic because I still use my finisher, the Valentine's Day Massacre. It was a way. I think I went over and I hit him with a GTS, his own move, and he had that spot. They collapsed on his shoulder. He did it with Self. He did it with Dean. He also did it at Roman with this past WrestleMania. And I did that again. It did it on me. I hit him again with the GTS. He bounced off the ropes, and I hit him with the VDM. 1, 2, 3, and it was pretty epic. So but it was just a dream. So, but you never know, dream might come true.
Okay, that's cool. Okay, I'm proud of you.
And I appreciate it. Uh, well, I guess we could call it a day because we got things to do in our lives. I got kids and stuff.
Right,
So
right on.
big shout out to you. Big shout out to WildMan Beast for coming in, joining me in the Go Hard Go Home podcast. Do you want to share your social media to everybody?
Now I'm retired, so
So yeah, so that means don't hit him up. He retired. He want to enjoy life. But till
yes.
then, I appreciate you coming on. I appreciate the for your time. This is Go Hard Go Home podcast on Spotify, YouTube, wherever you can listen to. Stay tuned for the next episode, and I appreciate y'all listening.